Thank you so much, Barb. A few words from me, Rudy. There are a few words left. Yes, I know, it's hard to believe, isn't it? And you'll notice a pattern here, and Barbara and I didn't talk about this before, but you will notice a pattern. So I guess our perception of you, Rudy, is right on target. First of all, the phrase, Rudy retiring, calls into question all that we know about the man, the colleague, the friend. This is the person who has battled asbestos, managed abatement, and I mean that literally, hard hat and all. Survived severed phone lines, cut water and cut power lines. He was actually fast becoming the 20th century Job. Rudy became adroit in moving from Armani suits to jeans and sweatshirts, and back again as the disaster du jour demanded. His involvement in construction, however, was soon reflected in his language at provost staff meetings. When he asked repeatedly for more Macs, we thought he was talking about computers. No, he meant Big Macs, the traditional lunch for all construction workers. Rudy has always been a division chair who fought fiercely for his faculty and who understood well the needs of each discipline and each program. He knew the needs because he set out to learn as much as he could about each program. Now, granted, applied music was a natural, as you could see from the slides from the program. Classical music was a natural because he had done it. From the classical music that resounded from the practice rooms at Duquesne University to the jazz he played in Pittsburgh nightclubs to pay for graduate studies. But we weren't fooled. The story was leaked, and now everybody knows about your life in the fast lane, having competed in the Ted Mack Amateur Hour. Gee, as if it were a new religion. He set up a digital piano and a digital camera. His home studio must rival Steven Spielberg's. What is not to be lost here is that this is not an exercise in self-indulgence. It is a means for Rudy of connecting self to faculty, self to students, a way to facilitate learning for himself, but for all teachers and students alike, and most importantly for him, I sense it's his way to give back. Whether this meant managing the campus budget, providing the pictorial history of the tortured birth of the Schlesinger Center, organizing the music program for graduation, learning programs in legal assisting. These were new additions, remember. Legal assisting, administration of justice, early childhood, human services, so that the newly adopted faculty joining his division would be able to see new avenues through him. And the other thing I suspect is that he was thinking ahead, as he always does, and trying to provide for his old age as a daycare provider, a security guard, or a court reporter. One of Rudy's most endearing traits, however, is his quick wit, his self-deprecating humor. It is easy but foolish to misjudge his keen intelligence, his unerring competence, his dependable insight, his overt generosity, because just when you catch a glimpse of any of the above, he derails you and your own discovery by his wit. You have taught us all to laugh more, Rudy, and our best gift to you is to try to work as hard as you did and to laugh as much. As Goethe pronounced, Men show their character in nothing more clearly than by what they think laughable. It is your easy modesty, though. Your easy modesty, first of all, in your work environment, that will be most difficult to emulate. The writer Annie Dillard would make you the poster child for office as wasteland. She writes, appealing workplaces are to be avoided. One wants a room with no view so that imagination can meet memory in the dark. For years, Rudy has operated in a room without a view, with plastic window panes, unmatched chairs, and a coffee maker that burns rather than perks coffee into aromatic solids. Rudy, we will miss the thoughtfulness and the levity that you brought to all occasions. We will miss your insights and your sense of irony. If the writer Carlyle is right, that the tragedy of life is not so much what men suffer, but rather what they miss, then you will have a happy next passage into retirement, because you miss nothing. And on you, nothing is wasted. It is we who will miss much in your going. Godspeed, Rudy, and thank you for what you left with us behind that really is part of you. Thank you. I get a hug too. We have a couple of presentations. The first one, of course, is the dutiful whereases that are put together by all of the great minds in all of our divisions and units, and so I get to read those. Goodness, we have, as Dave warned me, we have two of these, Rudy. It took us so long, to say all the things we wanted to say. Whereas Dr. Rudy Fiorillo has been a faithful and dedicated employee of Northern Virginia Community College since August of 1973, becoming a member of the Alexandria campus and a devoted, enthusiastic supporter of the community college, its goals, its mission, to provide opportunities for higher education for the citizens of Northern Virginia. He began his career holding a position teaching music in the Humanities Division and was appointed as chair of Visual and Performing Arts in 1980. Whereas Rudy has been the photojournalist and resident historian of the Schlesinger Center from its beginnings as a water-filled hole in the ground to its near completion as a concert hall with a water-filled orchestra pit, through the unrealistic expectations, bruised, inflated, and otherwise deflated egos, meeting with community performing groups, budget cutting, value engineering, despite it all, has acquitted himself with grace and goodwill, always opining, quote, well, at least it's not asbestos, end quote. Whereas Dr. Fiorillo has, with assurance, tenacity, and at times dogged resignation, guided his division through achievements in art and music, the Humanities and Social Science Division also recognizes that he alone has led them through the dramas of ubiquitous abatement, mysterious fumes, sinking foundations, and a multitude of campus reorganizations, and we are deeply appreciative that he kept it contained for the most part in his division. Whereas Dr. Fiorillo, after years of colleague nurturing, overcame his personal reticence in verbalizing his opinions regarding issues both relevant and irrelevant, and capably and succinctly speaks to the point. Learning Resources Services, recognizing his extraordinary ability in representing the monetary interests of his constituency, will miss his campus presence, his delightful sense of humor, and his undying support of student-based services. Whereas Student Development Services honors and appreciates Dr. Fiorillo for so graciously supporting housing, and maintaining the Showerless Fitness Center in the Tyler building, which has provided countless hours of training, strengthening, and toning for Alexandria students and residents. Dr. Fiorillo is further honored for his division leadership of diverse academic programs found nowhere else in the universe that allows students to explore their creative selves and imagine if he had stayed 40 years. Whereas Science and Applied Technologies provides its congratulations to Dr. Fiorillo upon his retirement following a distinguished career as a faculty member and division chair. We wish him much happiness in his future endeavors and in his relaxation. So too will the Campus Budget Committee now rest easier. This is true, guys. You know this is true. You know. The Budget Committee will now rest easier, knowing they will not receive endless lists of VPA and PS emergency needs. How many lists did we have those stools on, Rudy? Whereas Dr. Fiorillo encouraged the full range of cultural activities held in the Tyler building, despite road construction, parking lot closures, utility interruptions, catastrophes, both natural and man-made, contributing to community enrichment by inviting the general public when there was no place to park, and continuing to invite the public, and protecting those attending from parking enforcement sanctions. The business office hereby appoints him as an honorary parking enforcer, empowering him to write traffic tickets at future campus events, and I want to add all at Tyler. And whereas Rudy is valued greatly by his colleagues in the Business Technologies Division for his hard work, dedication, commitment, support, and loyalty to the campus and to the college, his delightful music and cheerfulness will be missed by us. And whereas Dr. Fiorillo is retiring, effective June 30, 2001, from the Northern Virginia Community College. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the community of Northern Virginia Community College hereby expresses to its highly respected co-worker and friend its grateful appreciation for his hard work, his 28 years of service, his professionalism, and achievement as a dedicated friend and colleague of Northern Virginia Community College. We wish him well in his retirement, reminding him that he will be in our thoughts and will always be our friend. We extend to Rudy every good wish in the many pursuits that will fill his days, and we remind him that he is a cherished member of the Northern Virginia Community College, approved this 3rd day of May, 2001. Rudy, before I give you a chance to speak, let me say that from the campus as a whole, we have another gift for both you and Kathy. And I don't have anything to show for it, unfortunately, because the gift is a seat named in your honor for you and Kathy in the new Schlesinger Center. And Rudy, in order to show, this is the gift from the campus to you, and we expect to see you there at every event. And I would have been able to deliver it to you, but our seats are now installed in the center, and I didn't want to fight Leslie to drag one out by its roots. So that will be coming, and you'll be able to view that. And I do also need to say that Kathy Fiorillo has been a very visible, supportive, and important part of this Rudy Fiorillo. And she has been kind and generous enough to share him all these years with us. And Kathy herself has shared a lot of herself, her time, her attention, and I don't remember being present at a concert, a dance program, a choral program where Kathy was not also present. Thank you. And Rudy, you have some words.